Hey YouTube, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. News and views on the news, and what we have here is like a couple of days ago, and this is fall in line with the spiritual content that I'm trying to put up because I'm trying to show y'all something, right? And basically, what happened is Steve Harvey's ex is suing to get 60 more million out of him for damage that she apparently caused. All right. So she apparently caused this damage. How do we know? We have excerpts from the Ricky Smiley show. But before we get started, let me greet everybody. Hola, guten, oi to the bang, versus los bonjour, Miss me, kedu, bawani, konnichiwa, ni hao ma, sani bonani, jumbo herbagani, assalamu alaikum and shalom. Now, I know some of y'all, and this just fits this story. Dog, you ain't gonna believe this, right? But I know some of y'all are viewing some of the videos that I'm putting up, and I'm kind of redoing videos from the old channel, right? But I'm leaving up some of the errors that I made, right? And to show you something, my greeting, for instance, some of the greetings I was saying incorrectly when I first started. I had to get some of the brothers from the continent of Africa to teach me how to say phonetically some of the greetings properly. You understand? There's a thing that's called it's called growth, and this is what a lot of these black women are incapable of doing. Why? Because they don't want to listen to anybody tell them that they're doing something wrong, even when they're destroying something. This is why many are no good for a wife. All right, Steve Harvey is married again, pretty much because he has to be, because of the image he projects, right? But he's on his third woman, all right, his third one. Yes, and it's a black woman, but he's on his third one. And it's kind of ridiculous that somebody that's trying to sell out as much as he is, the black man or black malehood, that even then he still has a hard time with it. And I think on his third one, he woke up and said, no, he need to be a man and stop that BS with that the man need to cater and cave to the whims and wishes of the black woman. Because that's the last thing we're supposed to do. All right. And so it's called growth. What's happening here is this woman is definitely regressing, right? Everybody else is responsible for her woes. So you get something like this story. According to TMZ, Steve Harvey's ex-wife said that you murdered my soul, pay me 60 million. This is the title. You murdered my soul, pay me 60 million. Fox had it, New York NBC.com had it, right? But TMZ got a hold to the records, right? So Steve Harvey has caused his second wife much more than mental anguish, according to a new lawsuit she filed. He damaged her soul. All right. And as I finished reading this, you could tell that she's lying about this because a woman with a soul wouldn't do this, right? A woman that's ever had a soul wouldn't do this. And he now owes her $60 million. $60 million, right? Mary Harvey and Steve Harvey infamously bitter divorce was finalized back in 2005, but according to docs filed Wednesday, Mary's still feeling a slew of ill effects from the battle. Right? No, she figured she could get more money, or there's another ulterior motive, right? She says she's been suicidal and self-medicating to cope with their nasty breakup. No, that's why I said, "Oh hell no." Now, nasty breakup. Here's the thing. When us black men want to leave women alone, it's because of them. Generally, it's because of them. We're talking about the black men that are trying to do right, the black men that are producing, the black men that are making money, the black men that are doing things. When we want to leave black women alone, all right, it's because they're stopping our production. Or we see that they only see us as somebody to use and abuse and extort, right? And I always have to question my relationship once it get in good with a black woman, because then unreasonable requests come up, especially based on the nature of the relationship. All right, case in point, if and I thought about this, I really thought about this, right? If you don't have any say in anything that the woman does, but she want to be in your life, right? Then you need to check her. All right, if she makes requests to tie you into something, then you need to leave her alone. Um, how could I say this? How could I say this? Let me give you an example. Meet a woman, and right off the bat, not much contacts with the son, and you could tell by the excuses that the woman makes that she wants what I could provide, but don't want her sons to learn anything from me. She only wants her sons to learn from her, right? So okay, that's a big old red flag. That's not a relationship. And then you kind of wonder, then all you want to do is just what? You see what I'm saying? And then you question, well, why are we having sex? See, you start questioning your purpose for the relationship if it's not to be the man in a relationship. And then a lot of these women honestly think that they're going to be the man in a relationship, that you need to report to them, that they think that they have the power. Then it comes to unreasonable requests. Like, hey, the relationship really hasn't produced much of anything from her to you, and she is always the one in need, even when it seems like she has. You understand? And so when you look at this, right, this woman, I mean, she got a good divorce settlement. She got a very good divorce settlement. What happened to the money where she needs 60 million more dollars? All right, she goes on the suit is rambling at times, but Mary's main point is she's emotionally and physically destroyed after losing her son. And we're going to get into that, losing her son. The son should be with the father figure anyway. Losing her son, her business, and the joy of Mother's Day, as she puts it. The joys of Mother's Day. See, that's why I hate that day. I have come to hate it. It means nothing but evil for a lot of men. We're expected to go out and do a bunch of stuff in the black community, in many cases, for mothers that wasn't really mothers for us because we had no fathers. Yeah, the mother didn't want a good man around to train us up as we were supposed to grow into men. All right, they didn't want our fathers around, which means there was a couple of things wrong with that, right? But then they wanted us boys. They wanted us boys. They wanted to raise us to be men. All right, no, I can't stand Mother's Day. I really can't. When I look at what these women have done to our community, can't stand it, right? And they want to claim Father's Day. That's how, and which makes me disrespect Mother's Day much more than that. You know, the Father's Day card for mothers, right? So as she puts it, all was lost. Mary L. Harvey was dead. She's suing Steve for child endangerment, torture, conspiracy against rights, kidnapping, murder, breach of contract, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Worth noting, the document was not filed by a lawyer, but rather a woman who tells us she is Mary's civil rights activist. So, these women got together and formed like Voltron again. Instead of the cars, you have the lions. All right? They click their fists together and say, form, blazing sword. They're going to take this road beast down because he's a man, and a man is just evil to women. Because what's Steve Harvey doing? Oh, he's doing good stuff, kind of. In the world of the United States, kind of good stuff. You understand? Now, here is the rub on all of this with the child and everything. All right? I want you to listen to the Ricky Smiley show and listen to Mary Harvey's former assistant that quit because of a hard pregnancy.
I got Mary Harvey's former personal assistant on the phone who can shed even more light to it, who's real close to the situation, even closer to me. She worked for Mary, and she's speaking out. I got her on the phone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Hey, I just want to ask you, how did you meet Mary Harvey, and how long did you work for her?
I worked for her for about 2 years, 2.5 years, and I met her through a hairstylist that we both had.
Okay. And what made you call in today?
I just feel really bad because I'm a mom as well as a stepmom, and I was really close to her son because I kept him constantly.
Right.
And I know how stuff like this was affecting him. And as a mother, I know how it is when you hear stuff about people's parents. You know, I'm from the country, so when you hear something about someone's parents, you don't let your kids go over and play with those other kids. So
Wow.
I feel bad, and I don't want him to not have his friends or people to tease him because of what's going on.
So how would you describe Mary's personality?
Very different. She's very erratic. I guess that's the word I'm trying to use. Because one moment she'll be fine, and then the next moment she'll just go completely left on you.
There are some allegations, that she's trying to throw out hints that Steve hit her. Now people are saying, well, you weren't in that house, you don't know. Just being around him, in a million years, do you think Steve would ever do anything like that? In your own words.
I wasn't there for that. So about the hitting part, I seriously doubt.
What about the allegations maybe of, did Steve give her any reason to have erratic behavior and say that he was unfaithful?
I don't know about the unfaithful part, but I know about the part about being broke and taking the child.
On the line, we got Mary Harvey's former personal assistant, Jocelyn, speaking on the Steve Harvey situation.
That's
Okay,
what I have.
tell us the part about she claimed that Steve took her child. What happened?
No, that's not true. Miss Mary was very overwhelmed, and she did not want to. She did not want that everything that was going on. She just didn't have time or whatever it was. So she asked me to get a ticket and put him, and I still have the ticket, put him on the plane to his father.
And how long ago was this?
And then,
That was about 2008, I believe. And I had to put him on the plane and not let his party know until 30 minutes before he landed.
okay, say that again. She told you to put Winton on the plane and send him to Atlanta and not let Steve and them know but 30 minutes before he landed, which would not have given him time to get to the airport to pick him up in time, correct?
Yes, the child.
And
Yes.
by you being her assistant, you had to do exactly what she told you to do.
Yes, I did.
What was her interaction like with Steve?
She was angry all the time. Anytime he had a show, I remember in particular where everyone was laughing. I think it was his birthday. She was upset. And she was upset when people were laughing at his jokes. We went to the Hoodie Awards one year, and she was upset. But
Upset about what?
Because the people were laughing at his jokes.
So do you think she's bitter or jealous of, the success that he achieved after their split?
I think she's angry. I think she's angry that she's not in that lifestyle anymore.
That's what I said.
I think she feels like she made a mistake because she left him. That's what she told me.
How much money did she get a month?
Miss Mary received a lot of money. She was not broke. During the whole interim while they were settling everything, she was receiving about $40,000 a month. So that's why I feel bad, because she was not broke and she was not trying to take care of Winston with nothing. And I don't want his friends thinking that, oh, your mom is broke and your daddy did this to your mom.
What happened? How did the water get turned off?
Oh, that was a different house. I took that picture, actually. That was a different house that she was not even living in, that they were prepping, getting ready to sell, for her to receive all the proceeds from that sale.
Wow. Okay. So we're talking to Jocelyn, who's the former assistant of Mary Harvey, who's the ex-wife of Steve Harvey, who's come out with all these videos talking about Steve and what he didn't do and kind of attacking his character. So you were right there as his assistant when she was going through the divorce with Steve.
Not his assistant.
I mean, her assistant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And she is a nice person when she's getting what she wants, but then she has when she's not having like a child, when you're not having a good day, you just get mad at everybody.
Now, Jocelyn, now why is it that you no longer work for Mary Harvey?
Oh, because I was pregnant, and then I started getting complications, and then I started hearing the things that she was saying about me during my pregnancy.
So, like I said, extortion of a black woman at its very best. All right. And then she got help from other black women to take this black man down. The black man's problem with him is simping and selling out. All right. And I'm not talking about his meeting with Trump. I'm talking about the books he writes to try to build up the black woman. I think that this man should have met with Trump. You go meet with the other leaders. With the leaders. If you get the chance to meet with the president, you meet with the president as a black man. And it showed us how simple and feminine minded that most of these clowns running around talking about tough dudes that, oh, let these men come see them for a meeting with Trump. And I was like, these are some ignorant dudes that they don't understand politics. That Hillary was worse than Trump. You got two kind of racism. If you want to think Trump is racist, you got the New York kind, and then you got the Georgia, Mississippi, Southern kind. The Southern kind killed you behind in the open. They had little dog whistles. The New York kind, just like you live on your side of the tracks, I'll live on mine. If we cross tracks, we're going to fight. But if there's a common cause, some of the times they get together. All right. So my problem with Steve Harvey was how he kowtowed to black women and lied or did not understand the truth about how well black men were doing for the community, and that most of the men creating all these children were thugs. And see, they didn't want to go into that because it fit the narrative to destroy black men. So what, Steve? If you're the only one left, then what? You already know white people don't accept you. Oh, and this is the problem with these black women. They want this world, but white people don't really accept black people, male or female, in general. You have some that do, but in general, they don't. All right, in general, they don't. You know how you tell if a white woman really wants a black man? She move into his community. Period. She move into where he wants to move. Now he might not want to live in the hood, but say he want to live in a middle class black community, she'll do it. All right. She will separate from her family to be with that man. And many of them do. What do black women do? They say, you have to move in with me. You have to come where I am. So I leave them alone. So, like I said, let's get into this, right? So when these black women start asking for unreasonable requests, you know that they only sought to use you to begin with. Like I said in an example, like I get with a woman, she don't want to deal with she don't want me to deal with the children, but she don't want me to teach anything. She's still trying to be the man in the relationship. I leave them alone. One asked me where I was going. Like I had went out of town. One told me you couldn't call me to tell me that you were going out of town, right? And I was like, no, I'm not going to call you to tell you anything. I don't answer to you. Think she kind of got offended at that. But then the next thing is, after getting offended at that, mad that you can't run a person. All right, now let's see what I could get out of them to bind them to me. And I often wondered this by women who don't give much, women who don't listen to men, women who don't want to listen to men, women who don't respect men, then turn around, hey, can you co-sign on something for me? All right, and the word straight out of my mouth is going to be no. Or something like that. Something that binds you to them either financially or otherwise. Whether it's the child or finances. Right? And so that's basically it. That's basically it. And you think to yourself, okay, this woman really don't care about me. She really don't care about anything. She's just trying to get. She's trying to exploit men, exploit ex-husbands, right? But there's still something else going on here that I feel. All right, she made her little rounds on all the shows and everything, and basically to go back at this man, and you hear that she was the cause of the divorce. All right, she started getting up there in that high life, that fame, that red carpet. She was the cause of that. And as you heard the woman say, not only did she send her son to Steve Harvey to raise him, but she made sure that he didn't get the call until a half hour before the plane was supposed to land to pick your son up at the airport. That's the weirdest case of kidnapping I've ever seen. All right. And so if she lies about something as serious as that to try to tarnish a man's standing in the public, and she makes a concerted effort to do it, you understand? Then what can we think of said woman? Trifling. Very, very trifling. But there's more to it than that. Oh, there it is. The Negro is happy with another woman. Boy, y'all, this is Nabi speaking right now. He's happy with another woman, and that woman for now is happy with him. She's like, dang, that should have been me on his show. Oh, and let's keep in mind when they was together, Steve Harvey was, known, right? But after he divorced her, well, and actually, according to the Ricky Smiley show, according to the assistant, What she told her assistant, as you heard from the assistant's mouth, is she divorced him. She filed for divorce. It's amazing how this dude blew up after dropping that ball and chain. So Steve is all over the place. He's in the news. People tired of him being in the news, but in this time, when he's in the news and black people make me sick some of the time. We got to get our SH together. How you going to clown a man for if a president of the United States want to see him and he's a Republican and he want to see a bunch of black dudes? How do you clown the black dudes that see him? Y'all ain't saying nothing to Jim Brown because y'all know he been holding it down with the gangs and everything. But all of a sudden, Steve Harvey is the sellout. All right? No, anybody that's down for the Democrats is a sellout. And anyone that goes in and want to meet with Republicans, they're taking a calculated risk. Right? They're trying to see if they could get anything out of the deal. Period. All right? But he blew up. He really blew up. But then there's this happiness. Love and happiness. It'll make you do right. It'll make you do wrong. Hey, hey. Love and happiness. Oh, you can't have that with a black woman. They want worship. They don't want the man to have joy. They don't want him to have happiness. If they see he is too, understand this. If they see he is doing too much and too happy, it seems like there's a black woman that will come in and try to destroy it. If they see he is putting too much aside or gaining wealth, they'll come and try to siphon it. You know, I have that kind of stuff happen to me. No one wants to make the black man happy that's doing well, that's doing right, and that's doing good for himself. What they want to do is come in and exploit and take and rob him of his resources. And lo and behold, that another woman makes him happy. Now, oh, you got to get her and him. Oh, you make him happy? It's not going to be with all his money. I'm going to try to get half. All right? So he dancing on stage and stuff like that. He all smiles at the airport. She all smiles, glad to be with him. Hold up. Now, wait a minute. Said, uh, uh, Throw your hands up in the air and wave them like you just don't care. If she's showing him some love and affection, somebody say, oh yeah. But what about the other picture? Did you all ever notice the other wife? They dancing together. They all hugged up. All right. She looks genuinely happy to be with him. Kind of like what I see in Kanye and Kim K. I like to use them a lot because that kind of rhyme, Kanye and Kim K. All right. And then he's blowing up. He's all over the place. He has a show. He's making people laugh on the Family Feud. And I ain't going to lie. I laughed at that stuff. And at the end of the day, what is she left with? Nothing. Nathan. But I wanted to leave you with the other part of this Ricky Smiley show. Right? So you can get an understanding. All right?
I'm not his friend, or I'm not with his party or anything like that. So I can't really answer that. I worked for her, so I'm closer to her. I was closer to her side of the story, and I tried really hard to help her to get over it, but it was just a lot.
So what everybody wants to know, you being closer to her, like you just said, do you feel that any of these accusations are true?
I only know. I know the accusations. I can just only pinpoint what I know. The accusations about the broke part was not true, and the accusations about he took my son is not true. He didn't take him in the court or whatever. She voluntarily did that without him even knowing it was about to happen.
Right. And have you ever seen her try to discredit Steve or tarnish his character in public?
Yes.
Wow.
In what way? What'd she do?
A lot of different things, because I did not know personally about any of the other stuff that was going on. But, like, there's a website, Media Takeout.
Uh-huh.
I was told to put things on. And one time during my pregnancy, I was really tired. And I didn't want to do a lot of things.
Wait a minute. Say that again. Mary Harvey told you to put stuff on Media Takeout about Steve.
Yes.
This is while they were together?
I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you.
This is while they were together or while they were breaking
up? No,
up?
this is during the whole trials and divorce thing that was the asset part.
And who filed for the divorce?
She did. Sure, she told me she did.
Wow. Wow. So what do you know about this book?
Which book?
The book that's coming out that she has something to do with. You know anything about that?
No, I wasn't there for that. I don't know anything about the book.
Wow. So when you stopped working for Mary, how was the split? What happened? How did y'all part ways? And then did she ever pay you on time, or did you have a hard time getting your check?
She did pay, but we split because of I had the high-risk pregnancy, and then she had another person come into her circle and told her that she told the person actually told me what was going on, as far as she makes me beg for my check, and she makes me I was pregnant, so I need to get up off my fat behind and come over there and get it. It was just a lot of things that happened. Then the very last straw was there was a situation going on where she was supposed to return after a visitation, the son, and it was like back and forth. The attorneys were calling, and things were going on, and I just didn't want to be a part of that. That was too much stress for me during my pregnancy.
Wow.
So, if you don't know, now you know. With that said, I'm out.